I am a follower of Jesus Christ. I have an opinion and I share it with you. I am the salt of the earth. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Salt of the Earth podcast. It's Friday, March 14th, 2024, and we've got a big story to unpack today. Just hours ago, the U.S. Senate passed a spending bill with a vote of 54 to 46, narrowly averting a government shutdown that would have kicked in at midnight. This is a huge deal, and it's got Washington buzzing, especially because of the drama behind the vote, the split within the Democratic Party, and the eyebrow-raising move by Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer. So let's dive in. What does this bill do? Why was it needed? Who made it happen? And why is everyone so fired up about it? First off, let's talk about what this bill actually is. It's a stopgap spending measure, technically a continuing resolution or CR, that keeps the federal government funded through September 30th, the end of the fiscal year. Without it, we would be looking at a partial shutdown, no pay for federal workers, disrupted services, and a whole lot of chaos. The bill keeps most funding at current levels, but it's not just a rubber stamp. It includes a $6 billion boost for defense and border security, priorities for the Republican majority, and about $13 billion in cuts to non-defense programs like domestic spending initiatives that Democrats tend to champion. It's a lean 99-page package crafted by House Republicans earlier this week, and it's got President Donald Trump's full endorsement. He's already said he'll sign it into law tonight, so we are in the clear, for now. So why was this bill needed? Well, the government's been running on fumes since the last funding deadline loomed, and with Republicans controlling the White House, and Senate, they wanted a quick fix to clear the decks. See, they've got bigger fish to fry. Think tax cuts, border security, and a debt ceiling fight coming up this spring or summer. This bill buys them 6 months to focus on that agenda without the headache of a shutdown. Plus, with President Trump and his advisor Musk pushing hard to slash federal spending and workforce numbers, a shutdown could have handed them back a blank check to cherry-pick what stays open and what gets axed. That's a big part of why this vote mattered. It's not just about keeping the lights on, it's about who holds the reins. Now, here's where it gets juicy. The vote was 54 to 46, and Republicans only have 53 seats in the Senate. To get past the 60-vote filibuster threshold and then pass it with a simple majority, they needed Democratic help, and they got it, but barely. 10 Democrats crossed the aisle to make this happen. Who are they? Drumroll, please. Dick Durbin from Illinois, Catherine Cortez Masto from Nevada, John Fetterman from Pennsylvania, Kristen Gillibrand from New York, Maggie Hassan from New Hampshire, Gary Peters from Michigan, Brian Schatz from Hawaii, Jean Shaheen from New Hampshire, August Keene from Maine, he's an independent but aligns with Dems, and of course, Chuck Schumer himself. These 10 were the linchpins, especially on the procedural vote earlier today that cleared the way with 62 yeas. But here's the kicker. Only Shaheen and King stuck with it for the final 54-46 tally. The other 8, including Schumer, flipped to no once they knew it passed anyway. Classic politics, right? Speaking of flips, let's talk about the Republican side. Only one GOP senator voted against this bill, Rand Paul from Kentucky. No surprise there. Paul is a fiscal hawk who hates stopgap measures like this. He'd rather see deep structural cuts than what he calls band-aid spending. His no meant Republicans needed at least 8 Democratic votes, and they got 10. So Paul's dissent didn't sink the ship. Now, why did most Democrats say no? Out of 47 Democratic aligned senators, 36 voted no, 76% of the caucus. They are furious for a few reasons. First, they had zero input on this bill. House Republicans wrote it solo, passed it 217 to 213 on Tuesday, and basically dared the Senate to take it or leave it. Democrats call it a partisan power grab that locks in GOP priorities, like that defense bump, while slashing non defense stuff they care about, like healthcare, education, and environmental programs. Second, they are worried it gives President Trump and Musk too much leeway. The fear is that this CR doesn't tie the administration's hands enough, letting them redirect funds or gut agencies without congressional pushback. But here's a twist. Federal workers usually get back pay after shutdowns. Take 2018 to 2019, 35 days, the longest ever. About 800,000 workers were furloughed or worked without pay. TSA agents, Coast Guard, you name it. Once it ended, Congress passed a bill and they all got paid retroactively. It's not instant. Workers wait, bills stack up, but it's happened before, like in 2013 too. So some speculate those 36 no votes weren't just principle. Maybe they saw a shutdown as an extra paid vacation, time off, knowing back pay is likely. Risky, sure, but it's a theory floating around. That brings us to the Schumer controversy. Chuck Schumer, the top Senate Democrat, stunned his party yesterday when he announced he would vote to advance the bill. This was a 180 from Wednesday when he'd rallied his caucus to block it and push for a 30-day extension instead. Why the switch? Schumer called it a Hobson's choice. Either pass a bad bill or risk a shutdown that hands President Trump the keys to the kingdom. Remember 2018, 2019? Food banks for feds, second jobs. It was ugly. Schumer didn't want that blame. He told reporters a shutdown could drag on for months, with Republicans holding all the leverage to restart only what they like. Progressives aren't buying it. AOC called it a betrayal and a slap in the face, while House Dems sent Schumer a letter 66 signatures strong, begging him to stand firm. They are livid he caved, especially since he voted no in the end after his procedural yes ensured it passed. Critics say he sold out to avoid blame, while supporters like President Trump, weirdly enough, praise his guts. President Trump even posted on Truth Social, quote, "Congrats to Chuck Schumer for doing the right thing," end of quote. So how will this bill help? For one, it keeps the government humming. No furloughs for federal workers, no halted services, no economic ripple effects. That's a win for stability. The defense boost strengthens military readiness and border security, which Republicans and some Dems in swing states say is critical. And it gives lawmakers breathing room to tackle President Trump's bigger plans, like tax cuts or debt ceiling talks, without a crisis hanging over them. But the cuts? They'll stink. Non-defense programs losing $13 billion could mean less for schools, hospitals, or infrastructure, stuff that hits everyday folks. What's the deal here? This builds a lifeline with trade-offs. Schumer's flip and those 10 Democrats split their party. Some might pay for it at home. Rand Paul's no shows GOP cracks. And those 36 Dems? Maybe they were banking on history repeating with back pay, or just rolling the dice for leverage. President Trump signs this tonight, and we are set till fall, but the fights are just warming up. What do you think? Did Schumer dodge a bullet, or did he blink? Were the no votes noble, or a vacation grab? Be the salt of the earth.